The Great Freight Recession continues. Tyson Foods closures and Del Monte's filing for Chapter 11 restructuring just may deepen the crisis. The freight economy is still in rough waters, and now, two major players in America's food supply chain have made headlines. First up, Tyson Foods. One of the biggest names in meat just pulled the plug on multiple processing plants across the U.S. We're talking Arkansas, Virginia, and other states. Over 7,700 workers will be let go, but it goes way deeper than that. When a giant like Tyson shuts its doors, it doesn't just impact the workers directly employed at the facilities. They also deal a major blow to freight carriers, independent drivers, and logistics networks. Trucking companies that serviced these plants will now see fewer loads, less revenue, and more uncertainty. Local economies that depended on Tyson's shipping volume are now forced to adapt or fold. The routes that once carried thousands of tons of meat products across state lines will now maybe go silent. Whole towns that depended on Tyson Foods for their structured business will soon be left scrambling to find new ways of financing their economy. Now let's talk Del Monte, the canned fruits and veggies dynasty. On July 1st, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Nearly 140 years in the game, and now they're seeking protection just to keep the lights on. They're trying to restructure and score nearly $1 billion in financing, but the message for trucking and warehousing is clear. Expect fewer loads, less storage, and shrinking shipping lanes. If you were moving Del Monte products, it might be time to scout new opportunities. So what exactly is happening? First, drivers remember. Chapter 11. Bankruptcy doesn't necessarily mean closure, but it does mean layoffs and maybe some form of relocation. And unfortunately, it's people like you and me that feel the full blunt of this corporate restructuring. Freight rates are down. Small fleet and owner-operators are barely scraping by. Warehouses are consolidating and consumer demands are shifting due to inflation and economic uncertainty. Companies big and small, Tyson, Del Monte, even brands like Hershey and Krispy Kreme, are closing plants, cutting costs, and pulling back on freight. So where does that leave us? The drivers, the warehouse managers, the entire logistic team? Drivers, the word is adaptability. Yeah, that's right, adaptability is your best tool right now. The metaphorical writing is on the wall. It's time for us to start diversifying our clients, chasing new lanes, to specialize in hot sectors like pharmaceuticals, refrigerated transport, or oil and gas. For now, the storm hasn't passed, and stories like Tyson and Del Monte suggest the worst may not be over. The industry's changing, and the old ways just aren't cutting it anymore. We are witnessing a transformation within the transportation, warehouse, and logistic industry. It's not just a downturn, it's a restructuring, and as the old routes fade, new opportunities will rise. But only for those who stay informed, flexible, and forward-thinking. You see these headlines and it feels like the storm might never pass. But I've seen this industry reinvent itself before, and I know it can happen again. The key? Stay informed, stay nimble, and don't be afraid to shift your course. In times of great change, the ones who move with the tide will find new routes to sail. As always, drivers, stay safe.